What if I told you that this harmless squat you're doing to stay strong might actually be dragging your knees toward painful surgery? If you're over 60 and still doing certain high-impact moves, you may be unknowingly racing against time and tearing the very joints that keep you mobile and free. The hidden truth: 6 exercises seniors must stop right now. When we're young, our knees bounce back from stress with ease, but decades down the line, cartilage thins, ligaments stiffen, and recovery slows. That deep squat you've done 1,000 times, it could be your body's breaking point. Let's dive into exercise number 1. 1. Deep squats, a fast track to knee replacement. Deep squats might look like a smart way to strengthen your legs, but for aging knees, they're a piston of danger. Lowering yourself deeply loads your knees beyond their natural mechanics, crunching cartilage thin and pressing ligaments under extreme tension. In youth, that shock was absorbed. Now, your joint cushion is wispy and fragile. Each rep grinds away that buffer, inching your knees closer to bone-on-bone contact. At first, you might hear a faint ache after workouts or stiff knees when rising from a chair. But over months and years, microscopic tears worsen, inflammation builds, and suddenly a snap during a squat can trigger debilitating pain. You're not just sore, you can't stand without agony. Worst of all, that lost cartilage never fully grows back. Pain becomes chronic. Regular tasks, walking, climbing, bending, turn risky and exhausting. But knee pain isn't just old age. It's a clear sign something is wearing out, and staying silent only deepens the damage. 2. Running on hard surfaces, the silent joint killer. Yes, running is touted for fitness, but pounding pavement is a stealthy assassin for senior knees. Each footfall sends shocks equivalent to 5 times your body weight up through your legs and into aging joints. Your cartilage, once thick and resilient, now wears down faster with every mile. That post-run twinge in the mornings, it's more than stiffness. It's inflammation claiming ground in your joints. Push past it, and that dull ache can evolve into grinding pain, cartilage erosion, and advanced osteoarthritis. Sudden pops or collapses, those telltale signs of meniscal tears or ligament failure, followed by months of rehab or even surgery. The result: the freedom to walk, play, dance, even with grandchildren, can slip away quickly. 3. High-impact jumping, a time bomb for knees. Think jumping helps maintain strength, not after 60. Hurling your body skyward and crashing back down loads your knees with dangerous force that aging cartilage can't cushion. In youth, your tendons, ligaments, and joints absorbed shock like springs, but age strips that resilience away. Landing from a jump can stress a joint beyond repair, triggering tears or chronic pain. What starts as a quick cardio burst can quickly devolve into days or months of immobility. 4. Forward lunges, hidden overload for declining knees. Lunging forward flexes your knee deeply and unevenly, placing strain on the joint and surrounding muscles. When cartilage is healthy, that's okay. When it's thinning, it's a recipe for wear, tear, and possible tears. Your body may start protesting with spurts of pain or swelling, but ignore it and misuse builds until every step, every bend, and every rise becomes a painful effort. 5. Deep leg extensions, isolating pain trigger moves. Leg extensions can feel great for isolation training, but for older knees, they're a red flag. They force stress along the front of the knee, compressing an already fragile joint lining. That pressure chip over time weakens the cartilage until pain becomes permanent. 6. Stair jumps or step downs, cartilage. Crashers. Jumping down from a step seems harmless until your knee lands heavily on worn-out cartilage. The knee absorbs multiple times your body weight during that single motion, wearing it down dangerously over time. These 6 innocent exercises may seem harmless today, but they can lead to irreversible knee damage, chronic pain, and a life limited by mobility loss. So I have to ask, what's more important, temporary challenges or lifelong freedom? Join me in the next video where we'll explore 6 knee-safe alternatives that keep you strong, independent, and mobile, no matter your age. If this opened your eyes, Tap like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, and tell me in the comments, which of these risky moves have you done? Let's protect your knees together. We left off with a warning. Even familiar exercises can quietly wear down your knees, especially as time weakens the support structures in your joints. But what happens next is even more dangerous, because by the time the pain speaks loud enough, the damage may already be done. The slippery slope from discomfort to disaster. At first, it doesn't seem like much. Maybe after a workout, there's just a mild discomfort, a tiny twinge when you land a little too hard. You shrug it off. That's normal, you tell yourself. It'll pass. But here's the truth, that discomfort isn't just a harmless ache. It's your body waving a red flag. Each time your feet strike the ground, whether you're exercising or just moving through daily life, that impact creates micro tears in the cartilage of your knees, those delicate cushion-like tissues that keep bone from grinding on bone. When we were younger, these small injuries healed quickly, almost invisibly. But now, that repair process has slowed, and instead of healing, the damage adds up. These tiny tears don't just go away, they accumulate. Over time, they erode the protective layer in your knees, thinning it out like a worn-down brake pad. And as that buffer weakens, your bones begin to press against each other, triggering inflammation, stiffness, and deep joint pain that lingers far longer than it should. And then one day, it happens. Maybe you're stepping off a curb or finishing a routine workout when your balance shifts slightly. Your foot lands just a bit off-center. Suddenly, a sharp stabbing pain shoots through your knee. You reach out instinctively for support. You can't put weight on that leg. You can't even stand up without help. This is how it begins. This is how a meniscus tear, an ACL rupture, or a full knee blowout enters your life, not with a dramatic fall, but with a moment of imbalance on already compromised joints. The aftermath: recovery. That's never the same. What follows is often a long, exhausting road to recovery. Physical therapy may help. You may regain some mobility, but the truth is the knee rarely returns to its original state. It's weaker, less stable, and more prone to future injuries. For many seniors, this single incident becomes the turning point, the one they dreaded most. The loss of independence. No more daily walks. Stairs become the enemy. Even standing up from a chair turns into a slow, painful process. You feel trapped inside a body that once moved freely. And the worst part, this injury doesn't just steal your ability to exercise, it robs you of your confidence, your freedom, your quality of life. The danger you didn't see coming: leg press with heavy weights. Now here's the twist. While you're trying to stay strong and mobile, there's another exercise that seems safe, controlled even, but it's silently damaging your knees from the inside out. The leg press machine. On the surface, it looks like a brilliant tool for lower body strength. You're seated. Your back is supported. It feels stable. But this sense of control is an illusion, because the very design of the leg press encourages seniors to load more weight than their knees can handle. When you push against heavy resistance in that seated position, your knees are forced into an unnatural range of motion, often compressed beyond what aging joints are built for. The load, instead of distributing evenly through your body, focuses intense pressure on your knees. At first, you might feel nothing more than a slight stiffness, maybe a lingering ache that fades after a few hours. But that's just the start. Each repetition under heavy weight compacts the cartilage more and more, squeezing out the lubricating fluid that keeps joints gliding smoothly. Without this fluid cushion, the bones in your knee begin to grind directly against each other. What follows? Chronic swelling, sharp pain, inflammation that doesn't go away. The breaking point. And then one day, while doing a set, something snaps. A searing jolt cuts through your knee. It feels like something tore deep inside. You try to release the weight, but your leg won't respond. It's frozen, trembling, useless. You may have just suffered a serious injury, a torn meniscus, a ruptured ligament, or even a fractured kneecap. These aren't minor setbacks. They're life-changing events. Even after surgery and months of physical therapy, the knee often never fully recovers. The joint remains unstable, and your days of pain-free movement may be behind you. The leg press might have felt like a shortcut to strength, But for many older adults, it turns into a direct path to disability. Beyond the gym, how it impacts your life. The consequences don't end when you leave the gym. These injuries follow you into your everyday life. Walking across the living room feels like a trek. Getting out of a car becomes a battle. Every movement is a reminder of the choice that led to this moment. And just when you think you've learned the worst, there's another common exercise that's quietly causing just as much harm, if not more. One that's trusted by nearly every senior who wants to stay strong and balanced. An exercise you've likely done many times without realizing what it's doing to your knees. Keep listening, because the next one is the most deceptive of them all. Earlier, we explored how seemingly helpful exercises like lunges and leg presses can quietly chip away at your knee health. But there's another everyday movement that often slips under the radar, one that feels so normal, most seniors never question it. Until it's too late. Stair climbing with excessive load, the hidden threat to aging knees. Stair climbing so simple, so routine. You do it every day without thinking, carrying groceries up a flight, heading to your bedroom, walking into a building. But for aging knees, this everyday action, especially when combined with heavy loads, is far from harmless. In fact, it could be one of the most underestimated threats to your joint health. Think about it: each time you step up or down a stair, your knees are forced to bear not only your full body weight, but often twice that. Now imagine doing it with a laundry basket, a shopping bag, or even just a heavy purse. The force multiplies, the joints strain, the cartilage protecting your knees starts to take a beating, and not the kind you recover from overnight. At first it might feel like a minor nuisance, a bit of soreness when you reach the top, a tight feeling behind the knee as you descend. You shrug it off, tell yourself it's part of getting older. But these aren't just innocent aches. They're warning lights on your body's dashboard. And just like ignoring a check engine light in your car, overlooking these signs can lead to serious breakdowns. Over time, the repetitive pressure from stair climbing with added weight slowly eats away at the cartilage, the soft cushioning tissue that keeps your bones from grinding against each other. Meanwhile, the ligaments and tendons that hold everything in place start to stretch and fray, creating tiny tears that build up silently. You don't feel them immediately, but they're there, accumulating. Then one day, it happens. You misstep. Maybe your balance wavers, or maybe your knee simply decides it's had enough. A sharp, stabbing pain erupts in your joint. You grab the railing, heart racing, hoping it holds, hoping you hold. This is how meniscus tears, ligament sprains, and patellar injuries happen without warning in the middle of a movement you've done 1,000 times before. And here's the truly alarming part: going down the stairs is even more dangerous than going up. Why? Because descending puts the knee into a high-impact state. The joint must act like a shock absorber, taking on more force than it was ever designed to handle in later years. Each downward step is a stress test, and for many seniors, the joint simply can't keep up anymore. What begins as a little hesitation turns into full avoidance. You start dreading stairs. Maybe you skip errands, avoid your favorite park, or stop visiting friends with walk-ups. It's not just a physical limitation, it's an emotional loss. You begin to feel trapped in your own home, your own body. And the worst part, some seniors believe pushing through will make them stronger. They tell themselves to keep moving, to not give in to age. But ignoring pain doesn't build strength, it causes damage. That no pain, no gain mindset. It's outdated and dangerous for older adults. Eventually, the result is almost always the same: chronic inflammation, reduced mobility, and in many cases, the looming shadow of knee replacement surgery. But before you panic, take a breath, because it doesn't have to be this way. What to do? Instead, protecting your knees without sacrificing strength. Avoiding harmful exercises doesn't mean you have to give up strength, mobility, or your independence. It simply means it's time to train smarter. Your body is older now, yes, but it's also wiser, and it deserves a more thoughtful approach. Low impact doesn't mean low results. In fact, the right low-impact exercises can be just as effective, if not more, than the punishing workouts you're used to. Swimming, cycling, and elliptical machines all get your heart pumping without pounding your joints. Strength training with light weights and more reps builds lean muscle without crushing your knees. Even walking, yes, simple walking on softer surfaces like grass or a track can protect your joints far better than hard pavement. Flexibility and balance matter too. Tight muscles pull on your joints, increasing stress and reducing mobility. Regular gentle stretching yoga and Tai Chi can do wonders to ease tension and support joint health. Try standing on one leg while brushing your teeth or doing gentle stability exercises with a chair nearby. These tiny habits compound over time, and they keep your knees and the rest of you steady. But here's something many people forget. Pain is not a badge of honor. It's not something to push through. It's your body trying to talk to you, to warn you. If your knees hurt after exercise, if they swell, throb, or feel unstable, that's not soreness. That's a red flag. Ignoring it today could mean losing mobility tomorrow. The truth is, there's no point in pushing your body through workouts that destroy the very joints you rely on to move, to walk, to live. What matters most isn't how much weight you can lift or how fast you can climb stairs. What matters is being able to get up from a chair without wincing, to take a walk with your grandkids without holding your breath in pain, to live your life on your terms, not dictated by doctor's appointments and physical therapy. So here's your turning point. This is your chance to choose smarter movement, to protect your knees, to preserve your independence. And now I want to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned from this video that you'll apply in your own life? Leave a comment below. If it resonated with you, write 1. If not, feel free to comment 0. Your feedback helps us keep creating content that truly makes a difference. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insights like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to strong, pain-free steps ahead.